Well. Look at this. That's actually the inside of the fan. What it looks like. Yeah, it's actually the blades inside the fan. Let me bring you guys over here. 1 second. How are we all doing? Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Now, I'm not going to keep this intro long because there's a number of little intros throughout the video on the days where I've been recording footage. But the main reason why I just wanted to jump on here is I want to mention a very special offer that's on at the moment from Testo. If anyone is in the market to get a new analyzer, or if you're an apprentice, you've just recently qualified and you're shopping around looking for a good price on an analyzer, let's be honest, they're not cheap. But Testo are running a 15% off the 310 second generation flue gas analyzer until the end of September. So if you are watching this in September 2025, I'll put the link in the description. You will get 15% off the bundles that are available for the Testo 310 second generation. I think they start around 550 quid, so 15% off of that is around 80 quid already, so it's a fairly decent saving. You'll get it for under 500 quid. Check out the link and bag yourself a bargain if it's something that you're after. Not only that, as per usual, I've got all my other links in the description as well. So you get 25% off anything from Unilight. If you buy anything off the website, just use the code UNCLE. Rhino, trade insurance, if you're looking for public liability, tools in transit, cover, and all that sort of jazz. Again, I've got 10% off for that, links in the description. And if you want anything from Tool Monster Store, Velocity Pro Gear, then again, I've got a 5% off code for that as well. All of this information is in the description. I'll put all the links in there. But the main one, I think the biggest one and the most exciting one is the one from Testo. So if you want an analyzer, this is the time to get it. Enjoy the video. Don't forget to do all the subscribing, liking and everything. And I'll see you guys all soon. Thanks for tuning in. What's happening, people? This is probably going to be the only job I'm filming today. What is it today? It's Friday, the 1st of August, my last working day as a 36-year-old. Because, which way am I going? This way. As of Sunday, I'll be 37. As you can, well, I'll show you when I get up there, but as you can see, what I've got in my hand is an electric shower. Now, I've got to go and replace an electric shower. So I'm gonna put the camera down, put it back in here, because I've got to get up to the first floor. So let's get up there and then we'll get the shower done. Okay. This is the shower I'm going to be replacing. It's an old Wix one. I've never actually come across these before, but apparently they're made by Bristan. 7.5 kilowatt shower. The closest I could find was an 8.5. We've got 10mm supply there anyway. Breakers there, not breaker, the shower switch is there. Cable entry and pipe entry points are where you can get them in there as well. So I'm hoping it should be a pretty straightforward swap over. Turn the power off from there. I'm going to do my safe isolation on there. Stopcock's in the cupboard. There's no gas in this property, it's all electric. Turn the water off, get this out, get the new one in, and hopefully it should be a decent job. There we are. That's the old one. That's the new one. I got very lucky the fact that the water entry point and the cable entry points were exactly the same. The only alteration I had to do was this cold feed, because the cable entry point, as you can see on this, actually you can't really see,
it is lower, whereas in this one, once you mount it, it's a little bit higher. So where that was sitting, it would have been that short. I could have done two ways. I could either put a coupling on there and then another coupling, but what's the point in doing that? Just undid that, new bit of copper, there's a compression coupling inside there, and we are live and direct. Let's get out of here. It's Monday, the 4th of August. I'm officially 37 years and 1 day old today. It is 1:49 and it's currently 21 degrees. Bit overcast, bit cloudy, got a bit of rain coming today, but it's okay because we're here to fix a Worcester. Flow elbow, let's go. Here we are. This is the one, I don't think I actually recorded it last week. No, I didn't, because I was just here for gas safety last week. And the customer, she said to me that she's having problems with the pressure dropping again. I say again because I have done work on this boiler before. Changed the right hand block on this. I did film it as well. I don't know how long ago, but I filmed it. And I checked the PRV, I checked the left hand block as well, make sure that wasn't split. It's not, that's all okay. But what I did find is on the flow pipe there, there's a bit of staining on there. And first I thought maybe it had the flow pipe pinhole. But then I noticed that the plastic tube, you can see the scale on there as well, where it's been weeping and dripping, that was terminating or sitting just above the flow pipe. So this has been letting by ever so slightly. That's why I need to change this out. Now, I've had people say to me before that you can apparently break this out or get this bit out and then just change the guts in there. But I'm just gonna swap out the whole flow elbow because, well, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get on with it. I've drained it out, recharged the expansion vessel. I think I'm repeating myself or not, but yeah, let's just get on with it now. Right, that's done. We're on. I need to shut that drain off, repressurize it, test it for leaks, and as you can see, that snapped, which I kind of thought it was gonna because it's old and yellowy, but I've got another one in the van. Let me go and grab one of those, replace that, but I'm gonna let this pressurize up and leave it on test while I go and get that. That side was okay to get off. I managed to tease it out. That side wasn't. It was tricky, but I managed to keep turning it, and then yanked it off. Now we're on. Let's pressurize and test. Right, there's the flue sampling tube replaced. That's for about 3 or 4 quid. Part number, in case anyone wants one. I usually keep about 3 or 4 of these on the van. For 3 or 4 quid, it's worth keeping on the van. Boiler's still holding pressure. I've just got to put this vent tube on here, which I don't know if I'll go to one. Alright, I'm just going to put this all back together. Got to put that little rain hood back over the fan. Yeah, I'm going to need 2 hands for this. Right. Next one is a Vaillant, which I think is having ignition problems. So let's go and see what's going on there. Well, this is going to be a nice, simple, straightforward repair. I'll tell you why. Because it's one of these. Just got to swap it out. Always keep one of each of these boards on the van, the new one and the old one, because it's quite a common problem with Vaillants. The reason why it's the PCBs, the customer's just shown me a video on their phone where the display is just doing weird and wonderful things. The call for demand, the temperature drops to 0, comes back up again, drops to 0, comes back up again. Let's kill boiler power. Oh. Let's get it done. Right, board is out. We are going to need this because, if you remember on the last one that I did, these boards are generic. They will work on the Ecotech Plus and the Ecotech Pro. Now this is an Ecotech Pro, so you can see it's come up with the F70, F42 and F26 fault codes as well. And that's because we need to program the PCB to this boiler. All you've got to do is follow the instructions that come in the PCB box to program it to this boiler, and then it should be all back up and running. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I will also link the last video that I've done where, well, the title is called Vaillant F70 Fix. So if you want to know, go into that video and you'll know how to do it, or just follow the instructions. Let's get that done. Like I said, don't panic. Follow the instructions. Boiler back up and running. And I'm done.
How are we all doing? Tuesday, 5th of August. Now, my first job today of 4 is a breakdown on a Vaillant Ecotech Pro. It's a gas valve. How do I know it's a gas valve? Customer sent me pictures saying F54, F28 and F54, F29, which are symptoms of a gas valve. So I picked one up yesterday. It's in the back of the van. I'm going to just drive up to the house now, park up, get the gas valve done. He's asked me to check if there's anything else that needs attention in the boiler, which hopefully there isn't. Also, before I forget, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. Honestly, it does. When I see those numbers go up, it really does make me a little bit happier. If you enjoy the content, if you're watching it regularly, go and click that subscribe button. Go on, do it. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now.
Well, that's convenient. Boiler is in that house. Outside? I was trying to say outhouse, outside, and he went out south. Right, we currently do have F28 on here. Sorry about that. F28, let's reset it and let's check what the previous fault codes are as well. Fault list. F28, F54, F28, F54, again, you get the idea. That is 100% gas valve. And this is an Ecotech Plus 824. Sorry, I thought it was a Pro. It's a Plus. That's the part number that you need. Make a note of it if you want. But in the meantime, drop test first and then get this swapped out. Gas valve done. There's the old one. Just, well, I had the drop test still on and I'd isolate the gas cock from here, turned it on, still held, so it was sweet. Now I'm just going to finish off doing my 26.9 checks, issue a certificate to the landlord, send them the invoice, and let's get on to the next one. You've probably seen enough of this boiler. I'm back because last time I changed the pump and now I've got to come change the fan. Reconditioned fan from Electro Gas Parts, brand new bearing plate. Now the reason I got the reconditioned fan is because obviously firstly the boiler's old. The reconditioned fan is a fraction of the price of a brand new fan, and you still get 1 year warranty. If you're going to get the same warranty length as a brand new part, but you get a reconditioned part, why not? First things first, let's start stripping this one out and then let's get that fitted. Fun fact, I've never changed one of these fans before, so this is going to be a first time for me. I've changed multiple fans in the CDI. No, this is a CDI basically. Well, it's a high flow, but it's like a CDI. I've changed multiple fans on the kebab, but I've never done one on a CDI. This is the first time. I've obviously stripped it apart when I do the full service and all that, but I've never had to change a fan on this, so let's do it together. No, don't drop the screw. Is it magnetic? We'll find out. No, it's not magnetic either. It is magnetic, so that's what it's supposed to do. Right, let's pop this open. I'm going to need to get the little stubby out for there. So let me get the combustion chamber open and we'll get started. Whoa. Look at this. That's actually the inside of the fan. What it looks like. Yeah, it's actually the blades inside the fan. Let me bring you guys over here 1 second. At first I thought that was a bearing plate. But look, that is
hard plastic, and in here you can actually hear the rattling. Yeah, look, there's a bits of the fan. It's broken inside. That is crazy. I've never seen that before. No wonder this was vibrating its head off. It's fine. I've got the new fan, so I need to swap that out. I'm going to fit the new bearing plate on that, and then I'm going to reuse this rubber seal because the reconditioned one doesn't come with a new one. And to be honest, this one is not damaged. It doesn't need replacing. There's no nicks or splits, or it's not deformed, so that's absolutely fine. So we can reuse that, change the bearing plate, pop that back on there, and then yeah, swap the fan out and make sure that it sounds like a whisper. Oh, by the way, I know some of you might be like, oh, that's staying. Yeah, I've repaired all that. That was on previous visits where that had all been leaking, and I had to go and get seals for that. I think, I can't remember if I actually, no, I didn't need to replace that, or did I replace it? I can't remember. But yeah, there was basically a fair bit of work that I had to do when I came to give this a full service the very first time. Since then, it's been fine. It's just these sort of little niggly bits now. So let's get this fan sorted, pop it back together, and then we should be out of here. Oops, I've done it already without filming it, but you know what it is. This, you got to twist it clockwise to get it off, not anti-clockwise. You then put it on anti-clockwise to lock it in. That's the old bearing plate, so you can see that is still fully intact. I've put the new bearing plate on there, so it's definitely not the bearing plate. That was definitely, there you go. It's so weird. I've never seen that happen to a fan before, but it's happened. First time for everything. Let's go. Well, we're running. And that is nice and quiet, which is what we expect, which is what we want. You'll see no more bits rattling around in there anymore. Next job, gonna go to Romford, well, Harrowwood. Got a noisy boiler to look at. Let's go see what's going on there. All right, I've got glowworm heat only boiler. That's overheating. Pump seems to be okay. It's not grinding or rumbling or anything, but let me take you up into the loft. Probably hear that. We've got a pumping over issue. Now the water in there is as dark as Batman, the Dark Knight. And when I put my Unilight, the magnet of it, to the H section, we've got a bit of a traction. You remember this magnet? Let me show you this. So we know copper is not magnetic, yeah? But when we do that, we get some attraction. So we've got attraction in there, got attraction there, got attraction there. There's okay, but yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, look on that elbow as well, and there. Not coming out of there, but definitely on that elbow and on that elbow as well. So that's why that's pumping over. And that's why that's overheating. I'm going to recommend power flush and potentially seal the system. But let's see. Okay. We will be back on Friday to power flush this system and change the pump valves, and maybe if the flush doesn't clear the H section, we'll repipe the H section.
I've also given the option of sealing the system, but we're going to go with the power flush first. We're going to do it in stages. Power flush and pump valves first. Then, failing that, repipe the H section or pressurize the system. I'm not sure yet on that side, but hopefully the power flush will clear it. So see you guys then for this one, if I decide to film it.